Remember to mute the mics, guys.
Good morning.
All right. Okay. Good morning again, everyone. I see Green Pond High has joined us. A big up, Green Pond. We appreciate you. I see, as I said, homeschool network. Yeah, man. I'm see. Ooh, hold on, guys. Something is going. Ooh. There's a feedback. Okay. Big up again. Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that. You guys are hearing the feedback, or the feedback is gone?
Feedback is gone.
We can hear you.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Who else we have? Home. Okay, Green Pond. All right. Miss Grant, I see you have signed on. Thank you so much for joining us. From El Shaddai Learning Center.
Yes, miss, that's my teacher.
That's your
Yes, El Shaddai.
Mrs. Grant is great. Yeah, man. Thanks so much, Mrs. Grant. All right, so we have everyone. Now, so we're on YouTube Live, so I would like to acknowledge everyone on our YouTube family. I see here as of now, we have nearly 60 people logged on to YouTube and growing. I hope everyone on YouTube can hear me. Somebody on YouTube say yes, we hear. You hearing me? You seeing me? I say Holy Rosary. Hey, big up Holy Rosary. James Hill Primary in Clarendon. Yeah, man, Clarendon massive. I see my cousins in New York. Camille and Jaden are on. Thank you, all our we cousin them and all of our students in the diaspora who have joined us today. Let's see who else we can greet. I see Chad. I see Jonathan. I see Khalil. Who else is on? I see Millicent. Hi, Crystal. Chad. Yes, man. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kelly's. Who else is here? Thanks, everyone who says they can hear me. All right. Anybody from any other schools are on the YouTube? From Ocherius Primary. Big up Ocherius Primary. Windward Road Primary. Nice. Huntley Primary and Infant School.
We have Holy Rosary Primary as well.
Oh, yeah, man. Yes, that's it. That was one of the first people who big up themselves. Oh, people from London. London massive. Thank you. Yes, well, yeah, man. Oh, and I believe that Professor Vereen Shepherd is on. So thank you so much, Professor Shepherd. Professor Shepherd is one of our biggest supporters. And if you guys don't know, Professor Shepherd has a show, Talking History, on Nationwide, that comes on Saturdays. So all you guys, especially students, parents, teachers, it's a very informative show, fascinating topic. So please check that out, okay? Marcus Garvey High, St. Michael Primary. Oh, yeah, man, who else?
We also need to say good morning to Huntley Primary and Infant School.
Excelsior Primary. Holy Rosary again, yes, man. Bread of Life Christian Academy. Hi, guys. Macintosh Memorial Primary. Nice. Marcus Garvey High. Marcus Garvey Technical High. Okay. Yeah, man. Thank you, Jodian. Thank you, Michael, Tracian. Yeah, man. Elisa. We so appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we were trying to wait for another couple minutes, if you don't mind. We're expecting over 1,000 students. Now, we know we cannot wait for 1,000 students to log on. But if you just can bear with us a little bit, and let's see how much more students we can get on, okay? All right, thanks, guys. So let's just, let's give them a few more minutes if we can. Thank you.
Arden Prep has joined us and Macintosh Memorial Primary. And we have some homeschoolers joining us as well.
Oh, yes, more homeschoolers. Yes, man.
Welcome.
Welcome again, all the massive from the homeschool network. We are just so happy that you're able to join us today. Hi, Jamal. Yeah, man, we see you, Jamal. Kemar. Hi, guys. Yeah, man, Winwood. More people from that, more people from Avondale. Hi, guys. All right. Yeah, man, more Ochi people.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, my love. What? Tell me.
Is George Headley supposed to be joining? Because my sister's in that school.
George Headley Primary?
Yes.
Well, I haven't seen anyone from George Headley Primary, but if anybody is there from George Headley Primary, big up yourselves so that Nala knows that you guys are being there representative, well, representing her sister. Thank you, Professor Shepherd. Professor Shepherd gave me the correct information for Talking History. Yes, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Nationwide 90 FM every Saturday. All right, so remember, parents, teachers, students, Talking History, 9 to 11 a.m. on Nationwide 90 FM on Saturdays. And also you can check it out on Talking History Facebook page. So Professor Shepard says this week we will be talking about the historical roots of Israeli/Palestinian conflict. You guys are watching the news and you should be, because trust me, what's going on in the world, you guys need to be informed no matter what your age. And so that's what they'll be talking about, as well as discussing Sam Sharp and when he was hung on May 23rd, 1832. Yeah, so that should be very interesting. Make sure you guys tune in if you can, okay? And parents and teachers as well. We have James Hill Primary. Big up, big up. Stairtown Academy. Excelsior Primary has just joined us. More homeschoolers. Yeah, man. Catherine Hall Primary. Hi, guys. Excelsior. Yes, yes. Everybody, we want everybody to join in. Obistan Kinder Prep. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Or Obistan. Hey, guys who just joined. Everett, Jaleel, Bella. I see Junan. Yeah, man. I see you guys. Bigging up your school. Make sure you big up your school. And your teachers too. Can't forget our educators. Emmanuel Christian Academy. Holy Rosary, yeah, man. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, guys. So we have 83 students and parents and teachers. All right. It's, as you know, we don't want to keep you guys too late. We know you all have other classes and other commitments. It is now, let me see the time. It's 10:13. So let us wait for 10:15 and then we start. Okay, guys? Thank you. Okay, guys, it's 10:15. As I said, we're going to start now. Boy, Glee Cares, I'm so jealous. Those snacks look so good. I wish I was a homeschooler right now. I'm like, oh, I wish I could share, reach in the screen and share those snacks. One day, guys, one day. Okay. So, let's just jump right in. My name is Alexis McDavid. I'm one of the outreach officers at National Museum Jamaica. Joining me, you might have heard her voice, is Sharifa Balfour. She is the curator at National Museum West in Montego Bay. And we're not going to introduce them because we don't want to embarrass ourselves, because just like you, we are students, we are learning, we have our notebooks and pen, paper, everything ready. So our presenters, please go right ahead. And remember guys, mute your mics. Any questions you guys have on YouTube or YouTube Massive, type it into the chat box, okay? And we'll acknowledge you. Don't worry, we have people monitoring the chat. And YouTube is recorded. So if you guys miss anything, you can always rewatch it on YouTube, okay? All right, guys. Kasike, the floor is yours.
Greetings, everyone. Kasike Kalan ni bonrish kaiman diri. Kasike yukayeki yame wani daka. What I said is, my name is Kalan ni bonrish kaiman. Can call me Kalan, chief of the Jamaican hummingbird Taino tribe. And with me is Kasike Yani. I'll allow her to introduce herself as well.
Hello, good morning, everyone. It is so good to see you. Everybody's looking so beautiful. I'm seeing all these lovely children. So we're here today to have some fun time with our Taino culture. And today, instead of saying miss, our Taino word of the day is going to be tequina. So if you want to, let's say, ask a question, you will say tequina Alexis or tequina Ronaldo or tequina Kalante, and just raise your hands and we will answer. Kasike, anything else? Or should I just go right in? Okay, so I don't think Kasike is hearing me. Okay. All right, Tequina Alexis, I will need video privileges.
You should be able to share your screen now.
I can. Okay, awesome. All right. This is going to be so much fun. You guys are going to learn so much today because we have a little game coming up at the end. So let me just start my presentation. And here we go. All right, so. All right, first I have to share screen. All right, so here we go. Where's the Zoom? And share screen. And I just want you to let me know when everyone is seeing the screen. Are you seeing the screen? Give me a thumbs up. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Takina, we're seeing
awesome.
Oh, yes, you guys, all of you can turn on your videos, but mute the mics, okay?
Yeah. So we're going to jump right into the presentation. So we're doing Taino loan words today. And first, I want to get into what, does anybody know what loan means? Anybody? A hand? The word, oh, loan. Okay, so the word loan, it means to borrow. So we're looking at words that was borrowed from Taino. So some of these Taino words, let's look at this. So we have the Taino, they're indigenous people of the Caribbean. Did everybody know that? No? Okay, all right, so the Taino, we are the indigenous people of the Caribbean. And at the time of the European, and that is in the early 15th century, we had visitors. So we also had other Caribbean islands that was in that era. So we are talking about Cuba, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, and also some of the lesser Antilles. Now, there's one thing I really wanted to point out is that back in that time, the words like Puerto Rico and Bahamas, that's not what the countries were named. Like Puerto Rico was known as Borinquen. That was the Taino name for it. And to this day, it is still called that by its natives. So loan words, they are adopted from a foreign language with little to no changes at all. Meaning, all right, so let me give you an example. An example of that is the French word café. It literally means coffee. So how many of you have ever heard or go around Jamaica and say like little cafes around? Okay, good, nice, right. So that word cafe means coffee in French. And the word kindergarten, who knows the word kindergarten? That word is actually German. Good, I'm loving the reaction. That word is actually German and it means children's garden. So now that we have an understanding of what loan words are, we're going to look at how our Taino words, like some of them really hasn't changed that much from then till now. So we're looking at the word barbecue, but the original word for barbecue was barbacoa. We're looking at how our ancestors, they barbecued their food. Now, I don't know, has anybody ever seen something like this in today? Okay, so we have different ways in which we do it now because, you know, we've upgraded the way how we barbecue. Yes, Nala, I'm seeing your face. So this is how they used to barbecue before. They would build the stacks and then have the other sticks come across and they would put the fish on it. And as you can see, it's slowly roasting. Now, how we do it today, we put it in a drum pan. And we have the coal on underneath, and you smell that nice jerk fish coming through. Not jerk fish, jerk chicken. Who knows jerk chicken? All right, good. So we did that today, and this method of how it was done for our ancestors is still being used today. Now, instead of roasting fish on this way, what we do is sometimes we dry herbs on it. So like when our grandmas and grandpas would pick their herbs, they would hang them on this for it to dry. And sometimes, like even for our ancestors, they also use this method. They actually slept on top of the racks going across. And they, yes, Nala? Nala, raise your hand.
Yes, I did. But my grandma uses that for her mints and thyme and the those kind of spices.
Good. So Nala, I'm really happy you find that out because that is showing us that even from then, centuries ago, though that method is still being used today in our culture. So we're going to move on from barbecue because we have so much more fun things coming up. So we have hamaka. Hamaka, that loan word is hammock. How many of us have ever seen a hammock? I have a hammock at home. Right, good, nice. Okay, awesome. So the hammock back then for our ancestors, they used it to sleep in. So they didn't really have beds. This was their bed. This right here, using the hammock between the two sticks and the cotton cloth or the cloth, that is how they slept. That was their bed. And who has been in a hammock and realized how comfortable it is? Nice. So imagine a nice good long sleep in this hammock. And today you're seeing that it is still being used. All right, let's move on to our next word. Hurricane.
Takina?
Hurricane.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Takina,
taking Alexis.
We had a raised hand from CC2 homeschool group.
Okay, sure. Go ahead, please.
We saw the hammock
We saw the hammock. We went on a field trip and we saw the hammock at Bob Marley Museum.
Ah, beautiful. Yes. Yes. Yes, Gareth?
No, I was saying that my school, we also went to Bob Marley Museum.
Ah, lovely. Yes, good, great. So I'm really happy that you're seeing how to this day all of those things that our ancestors have used, they're still being used. So now we're gonna look at hurricane, hurricane. So the loan word is hurricane, right? So if you're looking at the screen, you'll see that big spiral wind circle going around. So we're gonna break up the word hurricane, right? So the word hurrah means wind, and nakan means center. So the wind, in the way in which it goes around, creating that nice center in the middle. That is what they looked at and call it a hurricane, a hurricane. So today we use the word hurricane. All right, let's move into our next one. Oh, can anybody tell me what this is? Oh, CC2 homeschool. I'm seeing a raise hand.
I'm seeing a iguana and the lizards. And they're cold-blooded.
I think she's frozen.
Okay. I guess until she returns, the show will go on. So she was at iguana. Let me bring that up. Here she is. Welcome back, Tekina Ronaldo. So how many of you knew that we still have iguanas in Jamaica?
But also under Cayman too.
We do. Continue, Kaika Tekina. You're muted.
Thank you so much. You know, I'm here talking and don't realize that I'm muted. So I'm having a grand old time with the presentation. So, so let's get into it. Now imagine iguana was considered to be extinct. How many of us know where Helsha is? Helsha Beach?
Me, miss.
Good.
Miss.
So good. So you know exactly where I'm about to tell you now. They found a small population of iguanas, and from there they started to help them to increase their numbers, because as you know, iguana was considered endemic to Jamaica. So right now they've increased their population, and we now have over 300 iguanas. Can you imagine?
Miss, I don't know
So
where it is.
the loan word for so the word for iguana is iguana. I hope you're taking note of these words, because there's a little game coming up at the end, and we're definitely gonna need it to step up. So we're gonna now look at the next word, canoa. Has anybody ever seen a canoa?
Yes, miss.
No, miss.
You have? Okay, all right. So think about this, right? this type of boat was being used from the 15th century. They took a tree, and I think more than likely they used the lignum vitae tree because it's so strong, and they had to burn out the middle, and they had to dig out the middle by axe so that they could create a nice center in the middle so that they could sit in it.
Yes, miss.
Ah, okay, good. So they either use they use the cottonwood, the cottonwood tree, or they use the lignum vitae. All right, so we're going into casabe, which is known as cassava and cassava bread. Or better yet, does anybody know like the Jamaican name for cassava bread?
No.
Bami.
I'm giving you.
Bami.
Yes, it's called bami. We call it bami today.
Every time my grandma from my mother's side is making a type of chicken, she always cook bami with it, but I don't remember the type of chicken she cooked.
Ah, nice. So listen, what you're eating is the type of food that our ancestors had during their time. And even to today, we still create bami. So some of us have some great grandpas and grandmas, and they passed on their lessons to us. And today we make bami. So we call it bami now, but the Taino name for it is casabe, and it's made with the roots vegetable called cassava. Okay, so remember I spoke about some of the different names in the beginning and what the original Taino names were. So Cuba, so we pronounce it Cuba today, but it is actually pronounced Cuba. That's the loan word. And yes. Okay, I'm not hearing her clearly, Takina Alexis, but I'm looking forward to the comments after. So we called Cuba. So we're gonna look at the next root, the next loan word that is coming up. Ha! Ligani. Does anybody know where Ligani is?
No, miss, but any park?
Yes, miss, in Kingston.
In Northern State.
Located in Kingston, yes. So the Taino name for it was actually Liwani. Liwani.
Ligoni's up the road.
Yeah, exactly. Good. I was waiting for somebody to say that. So yes, it's called Liwani. And it's a place with tall trees, and some people or ancestors interpreted it as the place of the iguanas. So back in maybe pre-1655, Ligani, which is in Kingston, was actually populated with iguanas. So we're gonna move on to our next word. Anybody can get this. Anybody can get this. Tell me, can anybody tell me what this is?
Maca.
Yes.
Paka, miss.
Yes, definitely. So
call it paka.
okay. I love the fact that somebody's jumping in. All right. So the root, so the Taino word maca actually means a fish with many thorns. So can you imagine they found a fish with many thorns, and then online they were finding trees with all of these different thorns, and they just call everything maca. So to this day, we call the trees with thorns maca. We call those little thorns that's sticking out maca.
Akina, just
Yes,
to
so
let
you
you know, just sorry to interrupt, but just let you know, all of our YouTubers, they are
Yes.
very much participating Yes, Sam. We say
Oh.
everybody know it. Maka. Yeah, man. O'Neill.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Reed,
Yes.
Daniel, Stefan. Yeah, man. Everybody know about Maka, and everyone
Good.
was participating with the iguanas. I see, yeah, man. Hi, Bridget, Micah, Russell. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to acknowledge them.
Yes, thank you. You know, I can't see the responses from the YouTube, so I'm depending on you, Tekina, Alexis, to just pause and let me just big them up for their response, because I'm just seeing those who are on the Zoom presentation now, and I'm telling you, I'm loving the response. Okay. All right. I'm not aware of what is going on. Okay, so we're going to look at does anybody know this fruit, mommy fruit?
Yes, Miss. Raspberry.
Let me tell you something. Is when I big, like about 3 years ago, I found this fruit called mommy fruit. So you knowing what the mommy fruit is really, really good. But it has a thick skin, and when you peel it, it reveals the skin, the fruit of it inside is actually orange, and it has a big seed right in the middle. I'm really happy that you guys know, because I never know it until 3 years ago. And it's when I went to Castleton Gardens, I actually saw the tree. So if you ever get a chance to visit Castleton Gardens, there's a big mommy tree right in the middle of it. Mommy, yes. Ah, okay. Anybody knows this? It's called a manatee.
And you thought it was a mistake.
So if you look at, yes?
It looks like a cow.
It's a sea cow.
I'm not hearing you, Nala.
I always thought there was so
Manatee.
Manatee. Yes. If you look at the Taino word and you look at the loan word, they're almost the same, right? In terms of pronunciation, right? So it's pretty close. And also another name for the manatee is a seafowl. So I'm thinking if they're found along the southwest coast, that would probably be around what, Manchester side. I don't know maps, so you have to excuse me for that. But they're still here today, and as you can see, they're small in numbers, so they have to be protected until their numbers have increased. So we're moving.
A question.
Yes.
Sorry, we have a question from Jamal. Oh, Jamal McIntosh. He's asking for
Jamal
the
McIntosh.
Can we
Yes.
eat the skin?
This, you're breaking up. I only hear, can we eat?
Oh, can you hear me? We have a question from Jamal. He's asking for the fruit. Can we eat the skin?
the mommy fruit.
Yeah, the mommy fruit.
No.
No. Okay.
My daddy has a wrapper.
Okay, until Tekina Kaiko or Kaiko Tekina is back, I will talk on this one. I'm guessing everybody knows what this is. And the Taino word is maraca. And it is still called maraca for many today. The maraca, some call it in Jamaica. Can somebody put in the chat and then what we call it in Jamaica, the other name for the maraca?
Shack Shack.
Shack Shack, who was that?
Jaden Bent.
All right, where are you from, Jaden?
McIntosh Memorial Primary School.
All right.
All right, Macintosh, you guys know your thing.
Yes. All right, so now you can tell people that you know that the original word, the Taino word, which is maraca.
I see the cacique has been doing my work for me. Can everybody hear me again?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Okay, great. Great.
Takina,
So,
we have a well, I don't know if you heard my question. Jamal was asking if we can eat the skin of the mame fruit. We have some students here who are saying Khalil, sea
yes.
cub is the small one, sea bull the big one. I'm assuming it's the manatee he's talking about.
It's the
I'm
manatee,
like, okay.
right.
All right.
So, so it is highly recommended that you do not eat the skin of the mame fruit
That's
because
why.
you have to eat.
Takina,
All right, let me go
Trudy
back
is
a
asking
little bit.
if the maraca can be a toy.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Okay, let me show you a toy. Let me show you a maraca.
Miss, I think they give babies something similar, but it's called a rattle.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the maraca.
Trudy is asking
That's a tiny one.
if the maraca can be a toy.
Yes.
Can be a baby toy.
This is a baby toy.
Definitely.
Can you see it?
Let me show you a
Yes,
toy.
miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Can you shake it? Can you hear it?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Oh, you have?
Called a rattle.
I'm seeing Calicia, Matt Daniel. You have a maraca?
No, miss. I was saying it's called a rattle in the
Okay.
store.
Ah, okay. So what was the question regarding the manatee? Just if it is called a sea cow and a sea bull?
Yes, I think the student was just asking, making a comment about it.
Ah, perfect. Good. Perfect. All right. So now that we know what the maraca is, let's move on to papaya. Who here likes papaya?
Not me.
Right? Okay, so tell me one thing you're noticing about the word, the Taino. Go ahead, Nala.
So much energy.
But we have to do that to get to the good stuff of the food. If you want to prepare your dinner, then you're gonna have to do the prep work. So it's the same thing with the papaya. And by the way, it's just 1 spoon and a scoop, right? And that's it. Seeds are out. So tell me, can anybody?
We have a question.
Yes, go ahead. Is that Kiara?
Kiara?
Papaya tastes like soup.
Oh geez, girl. No, okay. Papaya is also delicious, okay?
And nutritious.
By the way, papaya it has many wonderful uses. It is highly nutritious. It is good for your digestive system, and it helps to clear it also, and it gives you lovely skin. It's really good. It's way more nutritious than soap. So I would suggest eating the soap, but definitely recommend eating the papaya. Now I wanted to ask one question. Yes, go ahead.
It is spelled the same.
Thank you. That good. That's what.
Miss.
Yes.
A lot of people pronounce it as papa instead of papaya.
Ah, there we go. So, I mean, in our language, you'll find that a lot of different words, they're shortened based on how quickly the person pronounces it or how slow they pronounce it. So you'll have papaya, which is supposed to be papaya, and maybe even the way how they pronounce it, papaya. So it sounds like papaya, papa. Or some people even spell it pawpaw. But regardless of the spelling, what we're seeing here today is that the loan word for it is the same as the English word for it. So the name has not changed. All right, so let's move now into...
Takina, we have a question
Yes.
from YouTube.
Go
Jamal
ahead.
McIntosh.
Yes.
He's asking, are sea cows dangerous? And then Rikaila is asking about the papaya. Can we eat the skin?
Okay, all right, so let me take the sea cow. Thank you, Rikayla. So, Rikayla, no, let me go to Jamal questions first. Just like with any animals that, say for instance, they're docile, so like you have the cow. The cow will stand and graze all day, minding its own business. But if you go and provoke the cow, then you'll find that you'll get the type of reaction that you don't really like. So it's the same thing with the sea cow, the manatee. It is not aggressive, but if provoked, it can become aggressive. And if it feels threatened, like any animal, it can become aggressive. So that's what Jamal.
Kind of like seals.
Yes. So the question for Kayla. Rikayla. Okay.
Yeah, Rikayla.
Can the skin, Rikayla. All right, the skin of papaya can be eaten. Some people eat the papaya green, some people eat the papaya ripe. I would always suggest that you eat the papaya ripe. But yes, so you get a really nice ripe one, almost to the point where it can be considered overripe. You can just bite into it, just wash it first, and you can just bite into it and go. Does that answer?
Well, I hope so.
Right, so
if anybody on YouTube has any other questions, let us know. Oh, Zachary is asking, can we eat the sea cow? No, Zachary, we are not eating no sea cow, okay?
Never let it be said that we are promoting the eating of the sea cow. However, our ancestors...
They're endangered currently.
They're endangered, right?
We're not.
But our ancestors back in the 15th century and the 16th century, it was food for them, and one sea cow would provide food for many people. So it would.
Sorry, Esther Ann has a question. She says, does the papaya have any other use besides eating?
Yes, it can be used on your skin. You can peel it and use the skin of it and just rub it on your skin. It helps to take away dark spots, any dark spots that you may have. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, like some persons will have warts on their skin. You can use the papaya skin every day and just keep rubbing it on the wart, and the wart will drop off. Okay, so this gone way out. Let's take it back in. I didn't hear that question.
I would not want to see a wart to be fed off.
Okay.
Takina, we have a question.
So let's jump back in.
Sorry, Takina. Sorry, we have a few questions on YouTube and on the chat.
Go ahead.
Asking about the papaya seed.
Yes. Okay, so the papaya seed, it is extremely good for the digestive system. It helps to rid the body of worms. Now here's the thing. Who here, I don't know if any one of these babies are young enough to get, old enough to understand worm medicine. So for me, right? Every summer, my parents would give me worm medicine to just empty me out and just get rid of everything. So the papaya seed can be eaten to get rid of the worms. However, it has to be given by an adult. So you can't just take up the papaya seed and just start to eat. I mean, if one or two escape while you're eating it, then, that's good. But never, ever, ever eat too much of the papaya seed, because it can also give you a belly ache. And I'm sure nobody wants belly ache. All right, so we're gonna jump back into the presentation. So we're moving into savanna. And the word for that is savanna. The loan word is savanna. It's a forest. So saba means forest, and bana means great, big. So a savanna, or coming from the root word savanna, means a great big forest. So now we're going into cimarron, and it's the English, not the English word. The loan word is maroon. So as you can see, the cimara or cimarabo, it's an old Lacona for the word bow, to pull back the bow. So when they say cimarron or cimarron, it comes from, it comes as the escaped enslaved and wild animals from the Spanish plantations took to the mountains like an arrow from a bow, never to return. Do we understand that? So what they're saying is the maroons took to the hills. Yes, they just fly off the plantation like when you pull back up a bow, let it go. And they just took to the hills, never ever to return. So we're going into our next word. I think could be our last word. It's tuna. Has anybody have ever seen this plant? Do you know what tuna looks like?
Yes, miss.
Yes. So here is where the root word coming from now. Tuna. And they shorten it with oni, means water.
And I thought tuna was a fish. Yes, miss. I thought tuna was a fish.
So yes, they do have the fish tuna, but they borrowed that word from the Taino language, tuna.
Miss, and they put it in the.
Miss, I've seen it before.
Yes.
Yes.
And because the tuna plant has so much water in it, it is also representative of the word oni, which means water.
Takina, we have they're identified as blood honey on YouTube. Says that tuna is good for your hair.
Yes, because so my grandmother and her grandmother before, and even to this day, I do it sometimes. We use the tuna as shampoo for the hair. So if I don't have any shampoo at home, I just go outside, slice off some tuna, and rub, and it suds up like shampoo.
Is the tuna the stink plant, or it is the other one?
Yes, it's the plant. So all right. Do we know this fruit on the screen?
Yes, miss. Guava.
Yes, I love me some guava. Yes. So the Taino word for guava is guayaba. Guayaba. And it's I love guava. When it's guava season, I like to have this basket. This basket right here looks good enough for me. So we're gonna test your knowledge. Go again.
Maybe if you eat a lot, it will give you tummy ache.
Yes, if you eat a lot of anything, you will get a tummy ache. Too much of one thing, so you have to take your time. Probably eat.
Miss?
Yes.
Do you know that water?
Yes, Kiara.
Do you know that if you drink too much water, it will kill you?
I'm not aware of that. I've never heard of that before.
Trust me, she's
If you
not.
drink it too fast.
Or if you drink it too fast. So now you have to just drink it really slow so that nothing bad happens. All right. So now is question and answer time. Are you ready? Who's ready?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss. Yes, miss, I'm ready.
All right. Okay. Takina Alexis.
Yes, ma'am, I am here.
Okay, I'm gonna need you quick on this one.
Oh,
We're
tell me,
heading
oh,
in.
the YouTube. Okay, guys. All right, YouTubers.
Can anybody tell me which word this makes?
Anybody on YouTube knows what this is? Joshua, what is it? On YouTube. Zachary, okay, if you know what it is, tell me the answer. Anybody?
Miss, I think I know.
4.
Miss, it's barbecue. It's barbecue.
Yeah, who's that? Who's that? Who said the right answer?
Me. It's barbecue, but in the Taino language, it's barbacoa.
Good. Yes. Barbacoa. Good. Good one, Garth. Good one, Garth. All right. Who's ready for the next
guys,
one?
On YouTube, type your answer in the
yes.
YouTube chat. Okay.
Ready? Okay. This one's easy. I feel like this one is easy.
Hammock.
Who's ready for the next one?
Me.
All right, let's go.
Hold on, we have some answers. Yes, man. Kellys, we see your answer. Come on, YouTube guys, we're ready. Okay, go
ready?
Right.
Who's the next one?
Hurricane.
Ah, good. Who's Garth? No, that's not Garth. Who right answer? Yes. Good. So, are we ready for the next one?
Yes, miss.
Hold on,
Yes, miss.
We're getting answers.
Yes, miss.
Go.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Cuba.
No, it's Taino. Okinawa.
Good. Yes.
It's a
Good. All right.
Yes. Guys.
Yes.
Alexis, Zoomers, mute your mic for a second. Yeah, Takina, we've been having so many people. We see that on YouTube. People like Michaela answered Hammock, Tracy Ann, Taylor, Anthony.
Nice.
Yeah, man, all of them know what it is.
They know what's up. All right.
All the answers. Yeah, man.
Here's the thing. I think Garth answered this one.
Yes. Yes,
all
Kamel.
Right.
Khalil, all of them know it. Yeah, man.
They know it. All right.
They know it, man.
Good. Come on. I feel like this one's easy again.
Manatee.
Oh. Garth is on right.
Manatee.
Yes.
Manatee.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay.
Cuba.
No.
Cuba.
Tina, how are these guys getting these answers?
Okay, all right. I get it.
Cuba.
This one, no.
Marca.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on, Zoomers, mute your mic. Yeah, Takina, we have yeah, man. Again, YouTubers. Anthony, he knew what manatee was. Yeah, man.
Wow.
New Cuba. Yeah, man. Ricky, Jamal.
Yes.
I see you guys. Yeah, man. Cuba. Everyone knew Cuba.
Everyone.
quicker than me.
Okay.
Yeah, man, guys.
All right.
Yeah, man, Zachary. Azuri. Yeah,
Okay,
man, we see you
good.
great now. Good job, guys, on YouTube as well.
Yes, good job. Thank you so much. You made my presentation really, really, really good, and I love it. Thank you.
Home.
Yo.
Hey.
Have a good day.
And goodbye.
We're not
Yes, but wait. Bye. Thank you. So now I want to hand over to Kasike Kalan for his presentation.
Greetings, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, Kasike. We're not done yet. All right. So, everyone, welcome, Kasike.
Mabrika, greetings.
Sir, are you a Taino?
Yes, we both are.
Wow.
So I'm going to.
Sir, are you a Taino or are you just as one?
All of us are Taylors.
So let me share my screen now.
Bye. Bye. Macintosh Memorial Primary School, please. Bye. Could you pick up Macintosh Memorial Primary?
Sir, are we still in Taylor?
Yes, you have more to learn.
Okay. Sir, must we leave?
So let me start my presentation. And this is going to be general vocabulary. So you have loan words. Someone just confirmed that they're seeing the screen.
It's loading.
You're seeing it?
Yes, we can see it now, Kasike. We can see it.
All right. General vocabulary. Okay. So the first thing, if you want to make a sentence, you're going to need pronouns. Everybody still hearing me?
Yes.
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 So then I can't miss you when.
The meeting open. Yes, I'm good.
You have I or my. You all know what we're saying in Jamaican language in our patois?
Me.
All right. And in Taino, we say dakia, which is for I or my. For you in English, in Jamaican, what we say?
You.
All right. And in Taino, it's bukia.
Yeah.
Hi, guys, on Zoom, you guys can participate more because Kasike wants to make sure that you're getting the vocabulary. So, make sure that you guys, when you want to make sure you're pronouncing the word correctly, you can unmute your mics. Okay, guys? Thank you.
All right. So he or him, in patois, Jamaican language, we say him, and that is likia, likia in Taino. I soon show you a little trick so you can get these easier. He, her, or she. In Patois, in our language, we say har.
Har.
We see her. Har. In Arawakan Taino, we say tokia. Tokia. We, in our Jamaican language, is we. And in Taino is wakia. So you see, there's a little easiness in how when we're comparing it to our Jamaican language. You all, we know in our Jamaican language, we say uno. Uno learning. In Taino, we say hukia. Uno hukia. And then the last one, they or them. In Jamaican, we say them. Them understand me. In Arawakan, we say nakia. And the other pronunciation is nahakia. Hakia. Now, why we have those two pronunciations is because where you have two types of Arawakan. You have Ta Arawakan and New Arawakan. But we're going to focus on Ta Arawakan for now. So you can write down this little cheat sheet, going to help you later. So you can write down Da, Bu, Li, To. Da is for I or my, Bu is for you, Li is for he or him, To is for her. So that is for the singulars. So if it is my thing, it is your thing, it is his thing or her thing, you use one of those. And then for the group ones now, the plural, if it's more than one person, wakia, so you have wa, hu, na. Wakia, ours, hukia, you all, yours, nakia, theirs. So that little cheat sheet going to come in handy.
We have a question on YouTube. Carice was asking, why do all the words end in ya?
Why the end in ya? All right. That is how they communicated back then. That is just one of the things that we've inherited and we learn. And I'm going to show you other forms of these pronouns that don't end with ya. All right.
Someone is writing on your screen.
So this is using it in an example. Yame wakia. We are Taino of Jamaica. Yame is the term used for the Taino of Jamaica. Kaiman Daka. So someone just asked about the ya, Dakia. This one says Kaiman Daka. I am a crocodile. Daka is the shortened form of Dakia.
Kasike, sorry to interrupt. I'm not sure what is going on, but if someone has somehow hijacked the presentation, the drawing, can you just guys please stop? Remember, we asked you guys to behave, okay? So please stop that if it's one of you guys on it. Thank you. Sorry about that, Kasike.
No problem. Drawing's cleared. All right. So now in our language, you have the pronouns. You have these that are attached to words, prefix. So you put it before a word, before a verb, or before a noun, so that you can say, communicate. So you can say, I am doing something, or you are doing something, or this is mine, or this is yours. So when the word starts with a consonant, you all know what's a consonant, right? Who knows what's a consonant? Put it in the chat. You do? Tell me what's a consonant.
While they are figuring out what a consonant is, we have a question from Karina on YouTube. She's asking how many pronouns are there?
You have the singular pronouns and you have the plural pronouns. We have these that are here. You have I, you, singular, him, her, and then you have us or we or the group, the plural, and you have you all, yours, and you have them, they, theirs. So it's the same that we have in English, the same groupings that we have in Taino. So with the language now, and this is important, when the word starts with a consonant, who was telling me what a consonant is? Let me look in the chat and see. Okay, Russell, that's a easy trick to the answer. He says a consonant is not a vowel. All right, what are the vowels? Someone put in the chat, what are the vowels? Waiting. Okay, I see the first person that put in what the vowels are. You can unmute and say, dear. I see the name here as Devar Wood. Tell us what are vowels. What are the vowels?
The vowels are A, E, I, O, I, U.
And you, thank you.
And sometimes Y.
O, U, and sometimes Y.
Okay, good. So if the word starts with a consonant and you want to use any of these pronouns, it is shortened. So you put da for my before the consonant. And you put D, just a single letter. So you see how there's a cheat sheet already being created? You just put D if it's a vowel. And we're going to give examples of this later. For bukia, if you're adding it to a word that is a consonant, to say this is your thing or an action you are doing, you just put bu, B-U, and then the word. And if it's a vowel, you just put B, right? So it would still be connected to what we were saying before. Da, bu, li, to. So it's easier to remember. Wa, hu, na, right? So write those down, it's going to help you. And you know, if it's a vowel, you only use the first letter. So we're going to go into some examples now. How to use these pronominal prefixes, which basically means these pronouns that you're putting before words. So we're going to give you an example. So in Patois, we'd say, Fimi. In Taino, we say Dani. And in English, that means mine. And we're going to go more deeper into these. Mi leader, Dakasike, my leader. Mi name, Diri, my name. So we're going to go into these now in detail. So Kasike is the word for leader. So using the example here, Kasike starts with a K. Is that a consonant or a vowel?
Consonant.
So if you're going to say my Kasike, you would say da Kasike. If you're going to say your Kasike, bu Kasike. His Kasike, li Kasike. Her Kasike, to Kasike. Our Kasike, wa Kasike. Unu boss, that's the pattern. Your leader, hu Kasike. And their leader, na Kasike. All right, so we're going to look at another example.
Jimmy.
Here's a semi, and here's our Dr. Bird. And the Dr. Bird says, wa semi, or sacred figure. Because semi starts with a consonant. All right. So now we're going into the Taino word for name. The Taino word for name is iri. Iri. What does iri start with? Who can tell me quick?
I.
Vowel.
Vowel.
A vowel.
Perfect.
A
So what you
vowel.
notice is with a vowel, you only use the first letter of the pronoun. So to say my name, you say diri. Say your name, we say biri. His name, liri. Her name, tiri. Our name, wiri. Unu name, in Patois, your name, hiri. And them name, nihiri. All right. So here's an example here of it being used. So kate is what? So kate biri. What is your name? And the response, Joey diri. Joey is my name. Here's another example of a word that is starting with a vowel and how we put the pronoun before that word. So ani means possession from the example that I gave before. So to say mine, we'd say Danny, mine. We put the D, the consonant, before the word. In Patois, we know that we change things up a little here because we put the pronoun behind fi, which would be the possessive, which would mean it belongs to. So we know in our Patois, in our Jamaican language, we'd say fimi, and that would mean it belongs to me. How would we say it is yours in Patois?
Few.
Yes, good. And in Taino, we'd say bani. How would you say it's ours in Patois?
Afiwi.
And the same language. Perfect. And in Taino, we'd say wani, ours. For y'all or for uno, hani, and for them or theirs, nahani. All right. So here he's saying mine, 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 mine. Danny, 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 Danny. So I'm going to go over some words so that at the end of this presentation, you can create a sentence. All right. So I'm giving you some command words. The word for bring is anuka. When you see those two dots over you, it's pronounced oh. Oh. Anuka. To give is asika. And to leave or go, we pronounce it eba. Some write it with an A, some write it with an E. But eba, to leave or to go. All right? So, I want to ask somebody here. How would you say he goes? If eba is go. See who remembers. Dum, 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 dum. And YouTubers are welcome too.
Likia.
Likia Eva.
Okay. Well, remember, eba starts with a vowel. So what would you do? You would put the first letter, the L. So you were right with Likia, but you put the L with the rest of the word. So you'd get labor. All right. So let's see who can get the other one. Asika is give. How would you say we give?
Wa.
All right. And then Asika.
Wasika.
Wasika. Yeah, what's that?
Wasika. Divorce, sir.
Good job, Wasika. All right. Anuka is bring. How would you say I bring?
Sir, you would say I bring Dakia.
All right, but remember, it starts with a voice. So what would you say? So someone else try. What would you say for I bring? Anuka is bring.
Danuka.
Danuka.
Yes. Good. Wait, on talking Taino already.
PK, we had
Yes.
quite a few people on YouTube who knew the answers. Tyreek, Trudy Ann, Tracy, yeah man, our YouTubers are really participating.
I love that. So now I'm giving you another word to help with sentence structure. Uni. Uni is two. And because it starts with a vowel, it would follow the same rules like the words we just went through. So here, this Taino man is saying to the Taino woman, Banuka Duni, you bring to me. All right. So now we're going to go over some common phrases. Okay. This stuff you can record because this is common phrases that we use all the time. So when you hear people speaking in Taino, or some will call it Wahiani, or there are different island Arawakan names, you have an idea of what is being said. So mabrika means welcome, or it is generally used as a greeting. So when we started this, I started with saying mabrika, welcome. Heketiwa, we are one. With this word, heketi is singular, and wa at the end, one, we are one. Usa alukali. Usa, we use usa to mean good. So alukali is morning, weyu, W-E-Y-U, weyu, afternoon, kasi, day, and we also use kasi to mean sun. Nonu, night. So you put usa before all of those and you're saying good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night. You guys know hahom, you heard that one earlier. Hahom is thank you. And dasika hu or dasika ni is how we would say you're welcome, which it really means it's coming from my givingness. Asika is give, asika hu, givingness, my givingness, which is to say you are welcome. So let's practice. So I made this one multiple choice to see if YouTubers and everyone has figured out the syntax of Taino grammar. Tani manati. What would that mean? Tani manati.
Her manatee.
Good. Good job. What's your name?
Tiara.
Tiara. Good job, Tiara. Tani manati is her manati. All right. Banuka wuni. Someone guess that one? Banuka wuni. See who was paying attention. It sounded like it. Say it one more time.
You're welcome, my forgiveness.
No. Someone else tried.
You
Banuka.
take her. You take her.
You take.
No. Because
You
her is not
bring
wuni.
You
Bring to him.
You bring to him.
You bring in him. You bring
Him.
to him.
No, him is not wuni.
Answers on YouTube. Wait a guys, mute your mic a second. Stefan answered on YouTube. Stefan Garrell said B, and Shannon Roberts said B.
Says B.
Yes,
All
the
right.
answer is you bring to him. That's what they're saying. And Tracy Ann
No,
said
it's
C. Is
not
the
to
answer
him.
C?
Because wuni, the W, wuni isn't him. W doesn't represent him. So who can guess it? Who can put in the chat?
You bring us.
Yes, who is that?
To
Who said that?
us. That's a neighbor.
You bring to us.
Yes.
Good
I
job.
think Tracy and Lawrence got that right on YouTube. She said C. Good job, Tracy Ann.
Good job, Tracy Ann. You're catching on. All right. Here's our next one. This is a common phrase everyone should learn to say as well. Katebiri. What does katebiri mean?
What is your name?
What is your name? What is their name?
What is your name?
It is
What is
B.
your
What
name?
is your name? Good job. And the response would be your name and then diri, my name. So when they say to me katebiri, I would say kasike kalan diri. All right. Here, this one is so easy. What is mabrika?
Greetings.
Greetings. Greetings.
Greetings.
All right, wonderful.
Kasike,
Here's
yeah,
another
man.
comment.
Yeah, man, that one was too easy. Kasike, everybody, Sharon, Barrett, yeah, man, everyone on YouTube is saying B for that, for number.
All right, next one. Halia buwaria. Now, halia means where or where are you?
Going?
Where are you from?
Good, perfect.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Going.
Good job, Halia buwaria. Where are you from? So you see you guys learning Taino. All right, Li kasike. What's Li kasike?
He's Kasike.
Wonderful. Who is that? Rakilia?
Yes.
Good job. It's cacique. All right, and the last question now. Honey.
Our canoe.
What's honey canoe?
Our canoe. Our canoe. Our canoe.
Say A, B, or C. It's easier if you say A, B, or C. So which one is it?
A.
No, it's not A. C. Who said C?
Bethany Bartley.
Okay, good job. It's y'all canoe. In Jamaican, it would be unu canoe. All right.
Kasike, the YouTubers, unfortunately, yes, most of them either said it was A or B. So now they know the answer is C. All right, good job, YouTubers, as well.
Okay, is Kasike Yanni here? I know she wanted to share a song.
Oh, sorry.
And the song will help to remember the words to say good morning. So go ahead, Kasike Yani. Oops. You're muted.
So just so you know, I cannot sing, so I asked my cacique to sing it for me. So if you see me mouthing the words, that's me singing, all right? Ready? Let's go. All right, don't fail me now.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Usa lukali, alukali, kati bien ikonye. Ikonye is today. And then with that song, we use that song whenever we're greeting the sun every morning. And we'll say, kati bien ikonye, Tekina Alexis, which is saying, how are you today, teacher Alexis? Kati bien ikonye, Kasi, how are you today, son? Kati bien ikonye, Rakila. Kati bien ikonye, Devar. So that's one of the ways that we have passed on our traditions. Little insight is that Tekinas would normally teach through song. So our Tekinas would have their maraca when they were teaching. Our teachers, some have their pointers today or their rulers. We'd have the maracas to teach so that that lesson and that wisdom, it remains with us. So with that, I am opening the floor to questions. If there are any questions, and I guess at this point, you know, we give YouTube a little props.
Sir, I have a question also. I have a question, sir.
Go ahead.
How come you know a lot of this Taino stuff? I think you went to Taino school.
All right. So to answer that question, which is a good question, how I know a lot of this stuff is that I learned I'm a part of a group called Kasabi clan. Now, Kasabi, as we learned today, is one of the words for cassava or the cassava bread. And what you'll find is throughout the Caribbean, everyone knows in some way, shape, or form how to make the casabi, the cassava. And that is something that connects all of us because we all inherited that knowledge. So a lot of us from the different islands, we realized that there were gaps in our language, in our words, and came together as a collective to work on rebuilding our language. So what was shared today is vocabulary, words, but we had to learn how to put the words together, the sentence structure. And from that, we learned from our other relatives, because there are other people that speak Arawakan languages too. Some Arawakan words are in the Kalinago language and in the Garifuna language. Who knows who the Kalinago are?
Not me.
Not me.
Okay, the Kalinago, when I was going to school, they told us they're the island Caribs. The Kalinago are also indigenous people of the Caribbean, but a different group from the Taino. And the Garifuna are what they call the Black Caribs. They are basically descendants of Caribs or Kalinago that intermarried with Africans who were meant to be enslaved, but were not enslaved. They were freed. They were shipwrecked on the shores of St. Vincent and found their way to freedom. So my question now is, YouTubers, do you have any questions? We want to keep you engaged as well.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it true that Tainos come from South Africa?
No, Tainos don't come from South Africa, come from South America. So our ancestors, the Taino of those who have Taino ancestry or Arawakan ancestry, our ancestors come from the Orinoco River Basin. We lived along that river in Venezuela, and we migrated from there up through Trinidad and Tobago, through all of the islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, which is Dominican Republic and Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba, and even up to Florida.
Okay, sir. Excuse me, sir. Did the Tainos know Narma, the singer?
Know what?
Narma, I don't remember her name. It's a singer. She wear bandana.
A singer?
Yes, sir.
I'm not aware. We have any questions from YouTube, Tekina, Alexis?
Yes, sir. My other question is, why did Christopher Columbus wanted the Tainos to be dead?
Excuse me, sir. Can you repeat the question, guy? Was that Kiara?
Yes, sir, miss. I wanted to ask a question why Christopher Columbus wanted the Tainos to be dead.
Why? The question about Columbus?
Yes,
no,
sir.
The question was like, why did they want the Taínos to be dead?
To be dead. Well, what happened is that they wanted the land. And a part of it is that they didn't really want us to be dead. They wanted our ancestors to work for them. The history of Jamaica is unique in the sense that the Spanish wanted to settle here. They wanted us to take care of their cows and to take care of their pigs and to take care of their horses and to be subservient, to be enslaved. So their intention wasn't to kill us, but the hard labor that they put us on did cause a lot of our people to die. But we are still here today.
We have a question from Jamal McIntosh on YouTube. How did you learn the language?
Oh, okay. I was answering that before. I learned it. There are records of words. That's why we were able to show the loan words and words that have been passed down for, centuries. And what was missing, we learned from our relatives. So it's a group, a collective group that are intent on bringing a resurgence, reviving this language. And to do that, we worked with others that also speak Arawakan languages. So the Lokono speak an Arawakan language. The Garifuna have Arawakan words in their language, and so do the Kalinago. And by coming together, we were able to find out what words are our words, just as English has loan words, and what words were not our words. I hope that answers your question, Jamal.
We have another, we have a question in the chat. The question is, do you still have your religious ceremonies where you communicate with your ancestors?
All right. How to answer that? Taino practices or practices is called semiism. That's the closest term to use today. And what it basically is, it doesn't have religious dogma. I don't want to use too many big words. But to sum it up, we have celebrations, ceremonies, and things that we do to honor them. So for example, this is a semi, which is a twin semi, which represents clear skies on one side and represents rain on the other side. And our tradition is when we want rain, we turn a certain side to the sun, and we want clear skies, we turn another side to the sun, and we sing certain songs. So we have our traditions, our folklore, our beliefs, and our practices. Yes.
Does Russell...
That's why they wanted us to be their slave?
What was that?
Sir?
Yeah, what was the question?
Why are we smarter than them? That's why they wanted us to be their slaves?
That's possible. A part of it is that their culture was different. That is why when the Africans came here, there was such harmony because we have similar cultures. So that is another big story, because if in your home, your mom is in charge of your home, so she will be the one that will tell you what to do and when to do it and help you with your homework. And in another home, the father is in charge of the home, so he will tell them what to do and when to do it and how to do it. There'll be differences when you're in a space as it relates to expectations, because someone may assume that you're going to do a task when you're not really the one who's supposed to do it. And things like that cause confusion, not just between our ancestors and, Columbus or the Italians and the Europeans, but anytime that any two groups are meeting, that can happen when there are differences.
We have another question from Mrs. Grant. It is, let me make sure I get it right. If the text, basically what she's saying is, if the texts are telling us, teachers, that the Tahinos are extinct, what are teachers supposed to tell their students?
Well, let me just tap into that a little bit. There's a part of my presentation when I spoke about the iguanas, when they all assume that the iguanas had been extinct. But up in the mountains of Hellshire, they found a very, very small population. And then they had worked towards creating a better environment for those iguanas to breed and to have more children and all of that. It would be the same way in which back then it was also assumed that all the Tainos had perished, or they had been killed. Now, just like again another part of the presentation when I spoke about Cimarron, Maroon, when they pull back that bow, that's the same way the Tainos shot to the hills, never to return again. So if the Tainos below, or rather the ones that had not been able to escape to the hills, had been killed off, it can be, and it was obviously assumed that all Tainos were dead or had been killed, when in fact there was absolutely no proof of that. Kasike? Yes.
We have a couple of questions on YouTube. Someone asked, how did the Tainos tell time? And someone asks, why do the Tainos speak a different language to Jamaicans?
Excuse me. Are we all cousins?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question for me, please?
Are we all cousins?
If we are cousins?
If all of us are cousins because our brother and sister, because the Tainos had us and the Tainos are related, so maybe we are all cousins, are all sister and brother.
Ah, I love that. Yes, there is a possibility that could happen, but I also wanted to keep in mind that there were other ethnicities that had come to Jamaica, like the Indians and the Chinese and the Syrians. So we're just like one big melting pot of family, of brothers and sisters.
We have a question from YouTube. Someone is asking, how did the Tainos tell time?
They would use the direction of the sun.
We also have a question. They're asking Kasike, where did you guys get your headdresses on YouTube? Someone is asking.
My headdress had been gifted. One moment, please. All right, baby. Okay, come. Since you want to be in the video. Okay. So this is our daughter. Her name is Tanama Retu, which means butterfly celebration. So this headdress was gifted to us by another chief, another Taino chief. He resides in the US, but his native country, I believe, is Quisqueya, but it is called Dominican Republic today. And is the Cacique on now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We Cacique.
So the question is, where did we get our cachucha or headdress?
All right.
So I shared my story.
Mm-hmm. Mine was gifted by a Taino grandmother from Borinquen, Atabibi Karaira, which represents the Karakara bird. It's a type of bird. And it was made by a medicine man from Puerto Rico. So headdresses are normally made and gifted. And the procedure, I mean, in the future, we'll have workshops that will speak towards how to make them.
Another question we have from Green Pond High, from Mrs. Livingston Williams is the position of cacique still hereditary?
All right, good question. For Wayukayeke or tribe, or Wiyukayeke or tribe, the procedure, because how to put it best, because the Yukayekes were dispersed, separated, and coming back together, everything had to be restarted. So there are certain trials that referred to as the trials of Wahayona, the first chief, that I had to endure and go through. And after going through that, now it can pass through my lineage. Normally it would pass on to the son of the cacique's sister. That's how it was done traditionally. But we're in new times now and things will be done differently. So everything has to have the blessings of the Semi. And with the blessings of the Semis and going through that trial of Wahayona is how the cacique is chosen. So it can be of my family and it can be of another family.
Okay. All right. Did Russell have a question? Russell, your hand is up. What's your question, Russell? Quickly, because we need to wrap up.
Miss, I'm asking if Christopher Columbus spared the baby Taino's life and let them grow up and die, or did they die from slavery?
I don't know if you guys heard the question. He's asking, did Christopher Columbus spare the babies, or did they die, or did they become slaves? Is that what you're asking, Russell?
Miss, I'm asking, did the babies die? Did Christopher Columbus spare the baby Taino's life?
Okay.
If he spared their lives.
Yeah, did he spare their lives? Or did he make them slaves?
Okay, good question. Most were brought up in the encomienda system, which was a system of hard labor, and then from there, enslavement, right? The idea is that they wanted a lot of numbers, and because the hardship was separate from the way our ancestors lived, of going to the kanuko every morning, which is our mounds, our garden to get food, and our ceremonies and taking our baths, they weren't able to do those things. So obviously, exposure to foreign diseases and all of these things led to a low mortality rate. So there's a lot of deaths in our community. And from that is when the decision was made by them to bring in other, to seek other slaves. But the intention was never, for Jamaica specifically, I can say, to kill us all off. That was not the intention. It was a result of the hard work. We were that golden goose that they worked too hard.
Okay, last question, guys. It's from Rakela. Rakela, you gotta get the last question because we really need to wrap up. Go ahead, Rakela.
So Cassie, how do you know that they not spoke that language? What if they spoke another language?
How do I know that what?
How did they know that the Taino spoke that language?
I'm not hearing you so good. You can type it, Rakela?
Okay.
So I'm looking out for your question.
Oh, and while Rakela figures, we can't hear you, Rakela, but there are a lot of questions now about your headdress. So as Kasika said, there will be upcoming workshops. So please look out for that, okay? Rakela, you typing in the question? Or trying to? You're not seeing it. I think she's...
The headdress, I can speak about that in a minute. It's a very simple stitch. And the feathers on it, these are blackbird, Caribbean feathers. And these are harpy eagle, largest predators in Central and South America, and Central and Macau. Feathers have meaning.
She asked, how do you know the Tainos spoke that language?
Okay, that's a good question. How do I know? I know because it was recorded and there is retention. So what I mean by retention, those loanwords, we still speak them today. And there are even some confusion with some loanwords. So for example, they call a leaf that they smoke tobacco.
Yes, sir. I was asking one question about that tobacco.
Is tobacco. The Taino word is tobacco, and tobacco is actually a pipe. It is not the plant. The plant is actually called cohiba. So sometimes there are mistakes that were made because they didn't come here to learn our language, but to force their culture on us. But there's evidence, it's recorded that this is our language. These are our words, our vocabulary. I'm very specific on that, vocabulary. And there are different languages as well, because there's a whole group of Arawakan languages. Just as English, Spanish, French, and Latin are related.
All right, guys. I mean, I know you guys might have more questions, but we really have to go. We want to, as always, thank you to our presenters at home. We want to, thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube, all of the students who joined us on Zoom. I mean, I really hope you guys learned something. As we said with YouTube, this is recorded and will be automatically uploaded. So you guys can go back, check the words out again, make your notes. Maybe some teachers, hint, hint, wink, wink, can have a quiz. I don't know if you guys can see me winking. Have a quiz for next class of what was learned today. And also we will be sending everyone who registered the fact sheets that were also presented today. So you guys can use them again as a resource for your classes. Again, we so appreciate the time, guys, from the Taino Hummingbird Tribe. Big up everyone again from YouTube and from abroad, London, America, who signed in. Also, we just want to say that we have a competition currently going on, a digital scavenger hunt from National Museum Jamaica and National Museum West. And we would love for you guys right now to go on our Instagram or our Facebook pages, follow us. Kasikia, you can tell us the Instagram and your Facebook handles, please, so the people can follow you as well.
Yeah, it's Yami Wani, spelled G-U-A-N-I. Y-A-M-A-Y-E-G-U-A-N-I.
All right, thank you. So thank you so much. So please, everyone, follow us. But right now, the digital scavenger hunt is going on. We have wonderful prizes to be won. I mean, we have a tablet, crispy, fresh Samsung tablet that we're giving away. We have phones that we're giving away. So please participate. All the rules are on our Instagram and Facebook pages. And Professor Vereen Shepherd, who as always, we need to big up and thank you to supporting us, has asked me to tell you guys that on Thursday, next week Thursday, May 27th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., there will be a talk on labor movements and unionization in the 20th century, a regional perspective. And that is by the Center for Reparation Research at UWI in association with Talking History. So please, guys, please also follow Professor Shepherd on Facebook and get all the information. No, I know we have to cut short, but we up on the homeschoolers. We see you CC2 homeschool. Again, we appreciate it. And signing off. All right, guys. So remember, be safe. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Kiara.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kayla.
Bye.
Kayla having lunch or breakfast. Wish I was there with you. All right, Kellys.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Ketan.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Nala. I see you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Akila. Bye, Kalicia.
Miss.
Bye, Nasha.
Excuse me.
Bye, Jamar. On
I
YouTube.
want to
Bye,
know
everyone. Bye, Brianna.
what is the scavenger hunt going on?
Tefar. Bye, Sharon. Bye, Nikhil. Mr. Javon. Sky King. Yeah, man. Who else? Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Guys. Bye, Glee Cares. We love you guys. Thank you. Be safe. Mahom to everyone. Bye, Mrs. Grant. Thank you for signing in. Thanks, Green Pond High, for joining us as well. Bye, Angela on YouTube. Bye, Ricky. Bye, Robert, all our YouTubers. Hi, Jamar. I see you. Bye, Kelly. Bye.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Keela. Bye, guys. Thanks again, guys. Thanks, Tevar. See you on YouTube. Thanks, Zachary. Bye, Zachary. Bye, June. Bye. Is it Ether Ann? Or, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I butchered your name. Esther Ann. Esther Ann. Bye, Esther Ann on YouTube. Bye, guys. Bye, Jamar.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, Keela. Bye, Asim. Bye, Cursia.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Hi, guys on YouTube.
Bye.
All right, guys, be safe.
I'm saying,